Good morning. It is Thursday, April 24th. Here is what we are working on this morning. We're winding down till election night. We'll tell you where the federal leaders are today.
Nearly 50,000 people have queued in less than 24 hours to pay respects to Pope Francis.
And the Montreal Canadiens are in a 2-0 hole after a hard-fought loss to the Washington Capitals. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
Kind of funny this morning because, Brian, I don't know if you remembered, I was kind of like not going to make it in on such a beautiful day. You're supposed to get 27 degrees today. But somebody didn't make it in this morning.
Somebody didn't come in, yes.
That's why we've got Simone here joining us.
Yes, I filled in, but that's okay. This is our first time actually on the desk.
So,
yeah.
Well,
cool.
Yeah, good for you
We'll take some notes after the show, Brian.
Yeah, let us know.
So a little bit of a change today, and we have a big change coming up in the weather department. I mean, we're still going to hang on to the sun. I mean, it was a gorgeous day yesterday.
It was.
It really was a lovely day. Light winds, lovely sunshine. We got to 15 degrees, which is a degree above seasonal for this time of year. But look out for today. We're going to really crank up the heat for you. We're going to hang on to the sunshine today. The wind is going to pick up as the day progresses. But the temperature will soar to the mid-20s today, 25 degrees today. And then you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like 28. So we actually have a humidex for the day today. So lots of sunshine, warm temperatures. Tomorrow, we're going to change that, showers, thunderstorms, and a bit cooler as the day goes on. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Quick check on traffic. 403 and Waterdown Road, we can't see a thing there. It's all looking fine. Look at the light in the sky already. We're getting closer to sunrise here. We'll check our just a few MTO traffic cameras. How about Stony Creek at Grays Road? Looks good. Top of the Skyway Bridge, nothing to see. Same with Appleby Line, Toronto bound towards us on that camera. So everything's moving nicely so far. We'll look at weather and traffic in detail in just a few minutes for you. Right now, the news.
Thank you very much, Brian. Despite indicating his administration is working on a trade deal with Canada, U.S. President Donald Trump is floating the idea of increasing Canadian automobile tariffs.
We don't want cars from Canada. So when I put tariffs on Canada, they're paying 25%, but that could go up in terms of cars. When we put tariffs on, all we're doing is we're saying we don't want your cars in all due respect. We want really to make our own cars.
Trump slapped all auto imports with 25% levies earlier this month, with a partial carve-out for vehicles made under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. Trump has agreed to begin negotiations on a new economic and security agreement with Canada after the federal election.
Now, on the federal election, the main party leaders were on the campaign trail talking Trump, encampments, and housing affordability.
Our goal isn't merely to survive Trump's tariffs, but to emerge much stronger than before. The first thing we're doing is to reduce the forestry sector's reliance on the United States, while simultaneously tackling the housing crisis. In my first weeks as Prime Minister, recognizing the threats that the President's trade war poses for our forestry industry, we committed to invest $20 million in over 60 projects across BC to boost the competitiveness and resiliency of this sector, and also to invest in innovative, low-carbon technologies.
Our plan is clear. First, we will amend the criminal code to give police legal powers so that they can remove individuals who are a danger to public safety and clear public spaces where access is currently blocked by tents and temporary shelters. We will return a true housing-first model, get people into a home. But if their addiction is the thing preventing them from succeeding in that home, we will get them into addiction treatment. We will treat the problem. We'll offer mental health supports, job training, so police can connect the people in these camps with the care and the housing they need. Third, where appropriate, the occupants will face criminal charges, but we will give judges the power to order the people charged for illegally occupying these public places a simple possession charge that requires they go into treatment.
We need real options for people that are affordable. So we need to build homes that are affordable. that actually people can buy and people could actually rent. We need cooperative housing where everyone that lives in the building is actually an owner. We need not-for-profit housing where the goal isn't to make as much money as possible. The goal is to make it as affordable as possible. We need government investments to build homes where the prices are lower so people can actually afford to buy them, like we did post-World War. We've got the solutions to make homes more affordable, but Pierre Poilievre's plan is not going to make it more affordable. In fact, one of his plans is to sell our federal land to private developers. And sadly,
now today, Mark Carney is in Port Moody, BC this morning before heading to a rally in Winnipeg tonight. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has a news conference in Halifax and a rally tonight in Saskatoon. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is making stops in Winnipeg and Toronto. Green Party co-leader Elizabeth May is campaigning in BC, while co-leader Jonathan Pedneau is in Montreal.
Polls suggest Liberals are leading the Conservatives. A recent Leger poll found 55% of respondents think Mark Carney and the Liberals will win the April 28th election. The same poll also suggests that just 8% of Canadians plan to vote New Democrat, a sign that support for Jagmeet Singh's party is dwindling. Join us this coming Monday for our special Your Home, Your Vote federal election coverage starting at 8 p.m. We will bring you up-to-the-minute results along with live updates from party headquarters and local ridings. You can watch our special coverage on CHCH and stream it live on Parrot TV.
If you own a home in Hamilton, you have less than a week left to complete your vacant unit tax declaration with the city. The city says all residential property owners must submit a VUT declaration, even if the property is their primary residence or is occupied. Any vacant properties will taxed at 1% of the total assessed property value. The money generated will be reinvested into affordable housing initiatives. You can submit your declaration through the city's website or in person at drop-in declaration centers. Those forms are due next Wednesday, April 30th. The Art Gallery of Hamilton is hosting the annual art sale. It's the largest art sale west of Toronto in the province. More than 300 pieces by 76 artists from around the region will be available for purchase starting on Friday, and it runs until Sunday evening. Admission to the art sale and all galleries are free while the show is going to be going on. And tonight, Matt Ingram will be speaking with the team lead responsible for the art show live on CHCH News.
Let's take a look at sports. Game 2 of the first round series between the Habs and Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Montreal went into last night's game down 1 after losing Game 1 in overtime. And we'll search off in the second period. Gallagher fires one on net and a scramble ensues. Christian Dvorak pounces on the rebound and gives Montreal the 1-0 lead. Washington, though, doesn't waste much time tying this one up. Connor McMichael comes out from behind the net. He's stopped, and then he tries to pass in front. The puck goes off a Montreal defender, skate, and into the cage. And about a minute later, not much time at all, Washington strikes again with some nifty passing. Beauvillier finds Dylan Strome alone in front. He stops but buries the rebound to give the Caps a 2-1 lead. McMichael would add an empty netter, and the Caps take a commanding 2-0 lead in the series. Game 3 is in Montreal on Friday.
Power play winding down for the Kings as Fogle slips by. Warren Fogle, they score! Brad Clark on the power play. And LA strikes first in Game 2. Thought about pitching in.
Kings-Oilers Game 2, and you may remember last game the Kings got out to a massive lead only to have Connor McDavid and the Oilers come all the way back to tie it up before the Kings won it late. Well, LA wasn't making the same mistake last night. They got up 3-0 in the second period, but the Oilers got to within 1 in the third before Ansi Kopitar and Adrian Kempe took over. The Kings duo finished with 4 points each as the Kings never let off the gas in this one and hammered the Oilers 6-2 and now lead 2-0 in the series, which heads up to Edmonton on Friday.
In the slot, Nichushkin drives down and peels back to the half wall. Nichushkin right back to the slot. Mini breakaway.
What a beautiful goal by Nichushkin. And that lead would last till midway through the third when Jamie Benn and the Stars would tie it up on the power play and send it to overtime. And that is where Mason Marchment goes down the right side and spins, finds trailer Tyler Seguin, who snipes it past Mackenzie Blackwood for his second of the series. Dallas takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Game 4 is on Saturday in Colorado. All right, I may have been a little bit hard on the Toronto Blue Jays yesterday. Well, get used to it. They're playing some pretty brutal baseball right now. Losers of 4 in a row heading into their final game of a 3-game set with the Houston Astros. Bowden Francis on the bump for the Jays in the second, and he gives one up to Christian Walker, who goes deep for the 3rd time this season, giving the Astros an early 1-0 lead. Still in the second, Zach DeZenzo spanks an RBI single to right center. Yanye Diaz trots home from third, 2-0 Astros. Jump to the 4th, Jays down through with Vladdy Jr. on first. George Springer spanks one down the left field line. Vladdy gets on his horse and comes all the way home from first. The Jays would get no closer and drop their 5th in a row, getting swept by the Astros, 3-1.
Well, that's a lot of spanking going on there. It's 11 minutes after 6 o'clock Thursday morning, getting closer to our last weekend in April. May's getting closer. So is sunrise. It's the, what is today? 24th of April already? Yay. And look at the sun coming up very soon and light in the sky. Okay, let's talk about traffic. 403 Waterdown Road. Obviously, it's Toronto-bound lanes towards us that are getting busy, but still moving nicely. So are our MTO traffic cameras. Traffic looks pretty good so far this morning. Here's the QEW in 406. Still some lingering construction, but volume's pretty light there. Nothing at Grays Road. Fairview Street starting to get busier. Nothing east of Royal Windsor, and all doing fine here at Carthra. Let's get to our temperature. It's a mild start to our morning here. We're already sitting at 8 degrees. Winds are light. Relative humidity is comfortable. Sky, I'm starting to use the sunshine now because, you know, we're so close to sunrise. The sun's not quite up yet, but it is a mostly cloudy sky here. So for school today, it's going to be a lovely, sunny and warm day. I'd be a touch on the windy side, but we should hit 25 degrees today with a humidex of 27. So what we have is high pressure ridge to the east, and that gives us a more southerly flow in general. It'll be light, but it'll pick up as the day goes on. And then we have the frontal boundary approaching, and now that could give some areas tonight some showers and thunderstorms, but it looks like for the day tomorrow could be showers and thunderstorms for the day. It'll be a fair bit cooler tomorrow, but still around seasonal, and then we're just looking at clouds now as we get into Saturday. So here's what we're looking at today. 19 to 21 for the Niagara area, 25 to 26 degrees this end of the lake, a little cooler for Burlington, but 23. There's that chance of late day showers and thunderstorms for Peel and Toronto. Tonight, we'll see clouds rolling in, 7 to 9 for Niagara, but look how mild it stays, 9, 10, and 11 degrees, way above seasonal. And then tomorrow, temperatures come down a fair bit, 13, 14 degrees, staying at 17 for Cayuga, Simcoe, and Brantford. So depending on where you are, and particularly Burlington getting a breeze, and it's going to keep it down around 10 degrees, but fairly unsettled for the day tomorrow. But for today, 24th of April, it's going to be, right now it is mostly cloudy, but the skies will clear. Temperature at the moment sitting at 8 degrees. Long range coming up. Simone, Adam.
Thanks very much, Brian. Today looks absolutely gorgeous.
I know. You have to get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. But coming up after the break, we'll say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And Hudson's Bay will start liquidating all remaining storms. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Morning Live. It is 6:15 on what's going to be an absolutely beautiful, stunning Thursday for sure. Emily Vukovic joins us now for a preview of what's coming up in Chit Chat. Em?
That was my happy sunny dance.
Sunshine. Yeah.
Okay, comedian Jeff Foxworthy, ahead of his show at Niagara's Falls View Casino, is with us on Morning Live. It's going to be a great interview. There's a new teaser trailer for Netflix's Wednesday. Do you guys watch that show?
I do.
You like that show?
Yes. I didn't know it was coming back so soon, so that's good. Okay.
It had a massive first season, though. It was super popular.
News you can use. Yeah. And later on this morning, we'll take a look at the newest production coming to Theatre Aquarius.
Amazing. Cool.
Sounds great. All right. Canadian dollar is up 21 basis points, trading overseas at 72.24 cents U.S. Gold rebound over $50 an ounce, and crude is up 30 cents to $62.57 a barrel. And checking midday trading in Europe, markets are down across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Asian markets were mixed. Tokyo rose, Hong Kong fell, and Shanghai edged up near the baseline. And North American stock markets ended the day on an upswing after a suggestion that the Trump administration is looking at easing its trade war against Beijing. The TSX gained 167 points, the Dow added 420, and the Nasdaq was up over 400 points.
Many wealthy people have lost millions or even billions of dollars this year. Some of them would have lost even more had they not offloaded stock prior to U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff announcement. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Oracle CEO Safra Catz, and JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon were among the top 10 stock sellers during the first 3 months of the year. Together, they sold more than $1.5 billion worth of their own company's stock. However, there's no proof they knew the tariff announcement was coming. Corporate executives typically offload shares at regular scheduled intervals. They know those sales can raise eyebrows, so they frequently announce the moves ahead of time.
Hudson's Bay will start liquidating all merchandise tomorrow at the 6 stores it had hoped to save, effectively ending the company's 355-year legacy. The company is taking this step because there's a low probability of finding a buyer for the remaining locations. HBC received court permission last month to liquidate 90 of its 96 Bay, Saks, and Saks Off Fifth stores by mid-June, while continuing to search for investors or buyers who could restructure or possibly sustain the business. The Bay is expected to seek court permission today to auction off its art, artifacts, and the 355-year-old royal charter that launched the company. This has sparked pushback from Indigenous leaders and historians who are calling for transparency and respect.
The Quebec Court of Appeal is ordering Air Canada to pay passengers more than $10 million in damages. That's a result of a class action lawsuit alleging they were charged higher amounts than advertised. The judge ruled Air Canada showed ignorance and laxity when concluding it was exempt from a provision of the Provincial Consumer Protection Act. The ruling comes as debate surges on whether growing airline fees and fare classes amount to so-called junk fees.
European Union watchdogs have slapped Apple and Meta with hefty fines as they increase enforcement of the digital competition rules. A $571 million U.S. fine was levied against Apple for preventing app makers from pointing users to cheaper options outside its app store. Meta was fined $314 million because Facebook and Instagram forced users to choose between seeing personalized ads or paying to avoid them. Apple and Meta have 60 days to comply with the decisions or risk unspecified periodic penalty payments from the Commission.
Tech giant Intel is reportedly planning to lay off more than 20% of its staff. Bloomberg, citing a source, reports the move will be part of an effort to eliminate bureaucracy and streamline management. It would be Intel's first major restructuring under its new CEO, who just took the reins last month, and this would represent the second significant round of layoffs at the company in just a matter of months. In August, Intel announced it was cutting about 15,000 jobs. The chip maker has faced years of declining sales and a struggle to keep pace with NVIDIA in artificial intelligence computing.
A frozen shrimp fried rice product is being recalled. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says Solmama brand shrimp fried rice contains milk that's not listed on the label, posing a risk for those with allergies. The 600-gram package was sold in Ontario, BC, and possibly in other provinces or territories. It has a best before date of October 20, 2026. The agency says there have been no reported reactions. If you have the product, don't eat it, return it, or throw it out.
All right, we're going to take a short break right now, but Brian will be up after the break with a check on traffic and your 7-day forecast. We'll be right back.
Good morning, 623. It is sunrise. 623 is sunrise for the day today. So let's look at our MTO traffic cameras, then we'll get to our forecast for today. QEW 405. Actually, the pavement looks a little damp there, but no problems in traffic. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge is getting a little bit busier now. Still nothing at Appleby Line. Same with Erin Mills Parkway. Same with the 403 going through Mississauga. That's the west of Mississauga Road camera. So all looking good. Temperatures this morning, yes, as the sun starts to rise here. We're sitting at 8 degrees in Hamilton. Nice start to the morning. 7 for Grimsby, 9 Mississauga, and 10 for the day in Toronto right now. So seasonals for this time of year. 14 for the daytime high. 3 for the overnight low. Now, yesterday we got to 15 degrees, and today we're going to go way above seasonal. Those were our sun times and records. Record for today, 28.3 back in 1960. We're going to get close, but we're not quite going to get there. So 11 degrees for the first bell for school, 25 for after school. Yeah, 25 degrees in the sun, and actually a humidex of 28. So that's how today shapes up. It will be on the windy side, though, with that warm air pushing in. Tonight falls to 10 degrees. We'll get more cloud cover, and then tomorrow there's chance of showers and thunderstorms, and notice how the temperature gets a fair bit cooler. 13 tomorrow, 13 again, not a lot of sunshine for Saturday. We'll keep our fingers crossed we see a little bit of blue, but then sunshine for Sunday and Election Day on Monday, 16 and 18 degrees, and then warmer but unsettled for Tuesday. That's your forecast. Simone, Adam.
Thank you very much, Brian. Humidex of 28. That feels like summer.
It's going to be so nice.
But how is this for a sign of spring? Tulip season is in full swing in the UK.
Tulip fields bursting with color attracted springtime visitors to Turner's Hill. It's a village in West Sussex in the south of England. Tully's, a local farm, said it had planted more than 1.5 million flowers in over 100 varieties as part of its Tulip Fest. People touring the fields could be seen snapping photos and posing among the rows of neatly planted flowers. And tulip season here in our region typically runs from late April into early May.
Those are beautiful shots.
I like how they're kind of organized by color there.
Yeah, no, that looks amazing.
Some intention with all the planting. Have you seen any tulips? Do you have tulips at home?
So we do have tulips. What happens with our tulips is the squirrels dig up the bulbs.
Oh no.
So like I tried to be creative and like plant the tulips in like a shape of a heart or something to surprise my wife in the spring.
Aww,
very romantic.
romantic.
I know. I'm an amazing husband. You don't need to say it. It doesn't have to be said.
Speak for itself.
The squirrels ruined my plan. So
just dig them up and try to eat them.
Yeah.
See,
Store them away for the winter.
I've been walking on my street and I've seen everyone has their tulips already, and they're not fully bloomed. Obviously, they're still taking their time, but you do see some of the little plants popping up.
We're getting the daffodils and hyacinths coming up right now. So yeah, they look pretty nice. Anyways, lots more coming up after the break. Please stay with us. Yeah, no, I was